Now let's get into it. December 2019. I'm sitting in my car outside a grocery store crying, not because I was sad, because I was angry. I had just put a bag of ramen noodles back on the shelf because I didn't have $3. And meanwhile, I'm watching people on Instagram posting about their amazing lives and their passive income and their financial freedom. And I thought to myself, what am I doing wrong? Here's what I learned that day. Success doesn't just happen. It's not random. It's not luck. It's not about being born rich or having connections. Success is a signal you send out to the universe. Think about it like this. Have you ever noticed how some people just seem to have opportunities fall into their lap? The right job, the right connection, the right timing. While other people work twice as hard and get nowhere, that's not coincidence. Those successful people are broadcasting a different frequency. They become a different type of person, and here's the scary part. Right now, you're broadcasting a frequency too. Every thought you think, every action you take, every habit you have, you're either attracting success or repelling it. Most people are unknowingly repelling it. And they'll do it for their entire lives unless someone shows them a different way. That's what I'm about to do for you. The first thing that changed for me was this realization. Nobody is coming to save you. Not your parents, not your boss, not the government. Nobody. And that's actually the best news you'll ever hear. I remember complaining to my mentor about my dead-end job. I said, my boss doesn't appreciate me. The pay sucks. I'm stuck. He looked me dead in the eye and said, so what are you going to do about it? I was stunned. I hadn't even considered that I could do something about it. That's the difference between victims and victors. Victims say, I can't. Victors ask, how can I? Right now, I want you to think about one area of your life where you're playing the victim. Maybe it's your finances, your health, your relationships. Now, ask yourself, what would someone who was 100% responsible for their life do in this situation? That's your answer. Write it down. When I started taking radical responsibility for everything in my life, things shifted within weeks. Not months, not years, weeks. I got a promotion. I started a side hustle. I met people who changed my trajectory. Why? Because I stopped waiting for permission and started taking action. Now, here's what nobody tells you about goals. Most people's goals suck. They're vague. They're not their goals. They're goals they think they should have. I want to be successful. I want to make more money. I want to be happy. Those aren't goals. Those are wishes. Real goals have three characteristics: specificity, personal meaning, and they're written down. I will earn $10,000 per month by December 31st is a goal. I want to make more money is a wish. I once met a woman making $250,000 a year. Sounds amazing, right? She was miserable. Why? Because she didn't want to be a corporate executive. She wanted to open a small bookstore. The day she admitted that and started working towards her goal, everything changed. She quit her job, opened her bookstore, makes way less money now, but she's alive, she's passionate. She's successful on her own terms. There's actual neuroscience behind writing goals down. When you write your goals down, you activate the reticular activating system in your brain. Suddenly, you start noticing opportunities you never saw before. It's like when you buy a new car and suddenly you see that car everywhere. It was always there, you just weren't looking for it. Right now, pause this video, get a piece of paper. Write down one specific goal you want to achieve in the next 90 days. Make it clear. Make it measurable. Make it yours. Read it every morning and every night for the next 90 days. Watch what happens. But here's the thing. Goals without action are just fantasies. And here's where most people fail. They set a goal, they get excited for 3 days, then they quit when it gets hard. Sound familiar? Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment, but not the way you think. Most people think discipline means willpower, grinding, suffering. Wrong. Real discipline is about systems, not suffering. Imagine you want to build a wall. You could try to build it all in one day. You'd burn out, give up, feel like a failure. Or you could lay one brick every single day. In a year, you'd have a massive wall, and you'd barely break a sweat. That's the power of consistency over intensity. When I was broke, I made a commitment. I would work on my business for 1 hour every single day, no matter what. Not 5 hours when I felt motivated. Not 0 hours when I felt tired. 1 hour every single day. In 365 days, that's 365 hours of focused work. That's when everything exploded. Here's your challenge. Pick one action that moves you toward your goal. Commit to doing it for 15 minutes every day for the next 30 days, not when you feel like it, not when it's convenient, every single day. That's how you build the discipline that attracts success. Now let's talk about something crucial. Your mind is like a garden. Whatever you plant in it will grow. Plant negativity, doubt, and fear, that's what you'll harvest. Plant positivity, confidence, and possibility, that's what you'll get. Success leaves clues in the content you consume. Right now, ask yourself, what did I watch today? What did I read today? Who did I spend time with today? Those three things are programming your subconscious mind right now. Here's what changed my life. I committed to reading for 30 minutes every single day. Not scrolling social media, not watching Netflix, reading, books on business, on psychology, on success. In 1 year, that's 182 hours of learning. That's equivalent to a full college semester. Except I got to choose my curriculum. Jim Rohn said, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Look at your 5 closest friends. Are they where you want to be in life? Do they inspire you, challenge you, support your goals? If not, it's time to level up your circle." This doesn't mean abandon your friends. It means expand your network. Join communities. Attend events. Find mentors. Seek out people who are 10 steps ahead of where you are. Their mindset will rub off on you. Now let's talk about something people get completely wrong. Failure. Thomas Edison failed 10,000 times before inventing the light bulb. When asked about it, he said, "I didn't fail. I just found 10,000 ways that won't work." That's the mindset of someone who attracts success. Let me tell you about the time I lost $30,000 on a business that completely failed. I was devastated. I felt like an idiot. I wanted to quit. But then I asked myself, what did I learn? I learned about cash flow, about marketing, about customer psychology. That failed business gave me the knowledge I needed to build my next business, which made 7 figures. Was it really a failure, or was it tuition? Here's the formula they don't teach you. Success equals failures multiplied by lessons learned plus persistence. The more you fail, the more you learn, the closer you get to success. As long as you keep going. Next time you fail at something, don't ask, "Why me?" Ask, "What can I learn from this?" That one question will transform your entire life. Now, this is going to sound harsh, but it's true. You can't succeed alone. Every successful person you admire got there because of relationships. Steve Jobs had Steve Wozniak. Bill Gates had Paul Allen. Oprah had Maya Angelou. Here's the secret. Nobody tells you. A good mentor can shave years off your learning curve. I spent 2 years figuring things out on my own. Got nowhere. Then I found a mentor who had already done what I wanted to do. In 6 months, I achieved more than I had in those 2 years combined. People think mentors are hard to find. They're not. Here's what I did. I identified someone who was where I wanted to be. I reached out and offered value first. I was respectful of their time, and I actually applied their advice. That last part is crucial. If you don't apply their advice, they won't want to help you. Mentorship is a two-way street. Don't just take. Give. Share their content. Offer to help with projects. Bring value to the relationship. That's how you turn a mentor into a lifelong connection. Let me tell you about another crucial element. Your health. Your health is your wealth. You can have all the money in the world, but if you don't have your health, you can't enjoy it. Successful people understand this. They take care of their physical and mental health. They exercise regularly, eat a balanced diet, get enough sleep. They manage their stress through practices like meditation or yoga. Taking care of your health isn't just about living longer. It's about having the energy and vitality to pursue your goals. It's about being able to show up fully in your life and work. And it's not just about physical health. Mental health is equally important. One practice I highly recommend is keeping a gratitude journal. Every day, write down 3 things you're grateful for. This simple practice can dramatically shift your perspective and increase your overall happiness and success. Now let's talk about something that's crucial for attracting success: continuous learning and growth. The world is changing faster than ever before. What brought you success yesterday might not work tomorrow. That's why successful people are always learning, always growing. They see every experience as an opportunity to learn. They're curious. They ask questions. They seek out new challenges. One of the best ways to ensure continuous growth is to step out of your comfort zone regularly. Do something that scares you a little bit every day. Take on a new challenge. Learn a new skill. The more you push your boundaries, the more you'll grow. Remember, growth can be uncomfortable. It often involves facing your fears, admitting your weaknesses, making mistakes, but that discomfort is where the magic happens. That's where you discover what you're truly capable of. Now let me talk about integrity. Integrity means being honest, keeping your word, doing the right thing even when no one is watching. It's about aligning your actions with your values. Success without integrity is not true success. It might bring you short-term gains, but it won't bring you lasting fulfillment, and eventually it will catch up with you. People of integrity attract success because they attract trust. And in business and in life, trust is everything. When people trust you, they want to work with you, do business with you, support you. Integrity also brings peace of mind. When you live with integrity, you can sleep well at night. You don't have to worry about keeping track of lies or maintaining a false image. You can just be yourself. Let's discuss the power of focus. In today's world, we're constantly bombarded with distractions. Social media, emails, notifications, they're all competing for our attention. But successful people know how to focus. They understand that where focus goes, energy flows. They know how to eliminate distractions and concentrate on what's truly important. One technique I recommend is time blocking. Set aside specific blocks of time for important tasks, and during those times, eliminate all distractions. Turn off your phone. Close unnecessary browser tabs. Find a quiet place to work. Remember, multitasking is a myth. Your brain can't actually focus on multiple things at once. What we call multitasking is really just rapidly switching between tasks, and it's incredibly inefficient. Instead, focus on one task at a time and give it your full attention. Another important aspect of focus is knowing what to say no to. Successful people are as proud of what they don't do as they are of what they do. They understand that saying no to good opportunities allows them to say yes to great ones. Now let's talk about your communication skills. No matter what field you're in, your ability to communicate effectively can make or break your success. This includes both speaking and listening. Successful people know how to articulate their ideas clearly and persuasively, but they also know how to listen actively and empathetically. One way to improve your communication skills is to practice public speaking. Join a group like Toastmasters or look for opportunities to present at work or in your community. The more you practice, the more comfortable and skilled you'll become. But remember, communication isn't just about talking. It's about connecting. It's about understanding others and making them feel understood. Develop your emotional intelligence. Learn to read body language and pick up on nonverbal cues. Let me talk about creativity and innovation. In today's rapidly changing world, the ability to come up with new ideas and solutions is more valuable than ever. Successful people are innovative thinkers. They're not content with doing things the way they've always been done. They're always looking for better, more efficient ways to achieve their goals. One way to boost your creativity is to expose yourself to new experiences and ideas. Read books outside your usual genre. Travel to new places. Talk to people from different backgrounds. The more diverse your inputs, the more creative your outputs will be. Another technique is to practice brainstorming. Set aside time regularly to generate new ideas without judging them. Quantity is more important than quality at this stage. You can evaluate and refine the ideas later. Remember, creativity isn't just for artists. It's a crucial skill in business, in problem solving, in all areas of life. Cultivate your creativity, and you'll be better equipped to attract success. Now let's talk about resilience. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from setbacks, to keep going in the face of adversity. Resilience is not about avoiding difficulties or pretending they don't affect you. It's about acknowledging the challenges, feeling the emotions that come with them, and then choosing to move forward anyway. Successful people understand that setbacks are not permanent. They see them as temporary obstacles, not insurmountable barriers. They know that every setback carries with it the seed of an equal or greater benefit if they're willing to look for it. One way to build resilience is to reframe your perspective on failure. Instead of seeing failure as the opposite of success, see it as a stepping stone to success. Every failure is an opportunity to learn, to grow, to get better. I remember talking to a young entrepreneur who was devastated after his first business failed. He felt like giving up. But when I asked him what he learned from the experience, His eyes lit up. He realized he had gained valuable knowledge about what not to do, about market trends, about managing finances. That knowledge became the foundation for his next venture, which became hugely successful. Another key to building resilience is to develop a strong support network. Surround yourself with people who believe in you, who encourage you, who lift you up when you're down. Remember, no one succeeds alone. Now let's talk about adaptability. The only constant in life is change, and those who can adapt to change are the ones who succeed. Successful people are not rigid in their thinking or their methods. They're willing to change course when necessary. They understand that what got them here won't necessarily get them there. This doesn't mean changing your core values or your ultimate goals. It means being flexible in your approach, being willing to try new things, to experiment, to pivot when something isn't working. I'm reminded of a story about a company that made buggy whips. When automobiles started becoming popular, most buggy whip companies went out of business. But one company adapted. They realized they weren't in the buggy whip business. They were in the transportation accessory business. They started making accessories for cars and became very successful. That's the power of adaptability. It's about seeing the bigger picture and being willing to change your approach to achieve your ultimate goal. Let's discuss balance. Success isn't just about achieving in one area of your life. It's about creating a life that's fulfilling and satisfying in all areas. Think about the different aspects of your life, your career, your relationships, your health, your personal growth, your spiritual life, your finances. How would you rate each of these on a scale of 1 to 10? Successful people strive for balance. They understand that neglecting one area of life for too long will eventually impact all other areas. If you're working 80 hours a week and neglecting your health and relationships, that's not true success. One way to create more balance is to use the concept of roles and goals. Identify the different roles you play in life. Maybe you're a professional, a parent, a spouse, a friend, a community member. Then set specific goals for each role. This ensures you're giving attention to all areas of your life. Remember, balance doesn't mean giving equal time to everything every day. It means making sure that over time you're nurturing all aspects of your life. Now let's talk about time management. Time is our most precious resource. We all have the same 24 hours in a day. It's how we use those hours that makes the difference. Successful people are masters of time management. They understand the difference between urgent and important. They prioritize tasks that move them closer to their goals rather than just reacting to whatever comes up. One technique I recommend is the Eisenhower matrix. It involves categorizing tasks into 4 quadrants based on their urgency and importance. This helps you focus on what's truly important rather than just what's screaming for your attention. Another key to effective time management is learning to say no. Every time you say yes to something, you're saying no to something else. Make sure you're saying yes to the right things, the things that align with your goals and values. Let me talk about the power of visualization. Your mind doesn't know the difference between what's vividly imagined and what's real. When you visualize your goals, you're programming your subconscious mind to look for opportunities to make those goals reality. Successful people use visualization regularly. They create a clear, detailed mental image of what they want to achieve. They engage all their senses in this visualization. What will they see, hear, feel, smell, taste when they achieve their goal? But visualization isn't just about imagining the end result. It's also about visualizing the process. Seeing yourself, taking the necessary steps, overcoming obstacles, doing the work required to achieve your goal. Remember, visualization isn't a substitute for action. It's a tool to motivate action, to keep you focused, to help you stay committed to your goals even when things get tough. Now let's talk about relationships. Success is not a solo sport. No matter what field you're in, your ability to connect with others, to build trust, to collaborate effectively, will have a huge impact on your success. Successful people are skilled at building relationships. They understand the importance of networking, not in a superficial way, but in a genuine way. They look for ways to add value to others, to help others succeed. One key to building strong relationships is to be a good listener. Most people are so focused on what they're going to say next that they're not really listening. But when you truly listen to someone, when you give them your full attention, you make them feel valued and important. Another important aspect of relationship building is follow through. Do what you say you're going to do, be reliable, Be someone others can count on. Let me talk about self-awareness. Self-awareness is about understanding your own thoughts, emotions, motivations, strengths, and weaknesses. Successful people have a high degree of self-awareness. They understand their own patterns of behavior, their triggers, their biases. This allows them to manage themselves effectively and to make better decisions. One way to develop self-awareness is through regular self-reflection. Take time each day to think about your actions, your reactions, your decisions. Ask yourself why you did what you did, how you could have done better. Another powerful tool for developing self-awareness is feedback. Seek out honest feedback from others. It might be uncomfortable at times, but it's invaluable for personal growth. Now let's discuss risk-taking. Success often requires stepping out of your comfort zone, trying new things, taking chances. But this doesn't mean being reckless. Successful people are willing to take risks, but they're smart about it. They do their research, they weigh the potential outcomes, they have contingency plans. Remember, playing it safe can be the riskiest move of all. In a world that's constantly changing, staying still means falling behind. One way to become more comfortable with risk-taking is to start small. Take small risks regularly. As you see that you can handle the outcomes, you'll become more confident in taking bigger risks. Let me talk about patience. In today's world of instant gratification, patience has become a rare and valuable quality. Successful people understand that real, lasting success takes time. They're willing to delay gratification, to put in the work day after day, even when they're not seeing immediate results. Think about planting a tree. You plant the seed, you water it, you nurture it. For a long time, you don't see anything happening above the ground. But below the surface, roots are growing, becoming strong and deep. Then suddenly one day you see a sprout, and before you know it, you have a strong tree. Success often works the same way. For a long time, you might not see visible results. But if you're patient, if you keep putting in the work, eventually you'll see the fruits of your labor. Remember, patience doesn't mean passivity. It means working consistently toward your goals, trusting in the process, and not getting discouraged when things take longer than you'd like. Now let's talk about learning from failure. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's a part of success. Every successful person has failed many times on their journey. The difference is in how they respond to failure. Successful people don't let failure defeat them. They don't take it personally. Instead, they see it as feedback, as a learning opportunity. When you fail at something, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I use this experience to get better, to move closer to my goals? Remember, failure is an event, not a person. Just because you failed at something doesn't make you a failure. It makes you someone who had the courage to try. Let me talk about celebration. We often focus so much on achieving our goals that we forget to celebrate our achievements along the way. Successful people take time to acknowledge their progress, to celebrate their wins, both big and small. This isn't about being boastful. It's about recognizing your efforts, reinforcing positive behavior, and maintaining motivation. Celebration also helps to train your brain to associate hard work with positive feelings, making you more likely to continue putting in the effort to your improvement. Commit to taking action toward your goals every single day. Remember, success is not an accident. It's a choice. And that choice begins with deciding to become the kind of person who attracts success.